Hello my gorgeous peopleini, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these are your weekly horoscope tarot card readings, and they are for the air signs of the zodiac, which are Gemini, Libra and Aquarius, and it's in between the 14th and the 20th of February 2022. So this weekly horoscope tarot card focus is going to be for the air signs of the zodiac, which are Gemini, Libra and Aquamarini, and it's in between the 14th and the 20th of February 2022. And I'm going to start with my gorgeous Gemini. Gemini, you know, you're going to find yourself in a quite interesting situation this week, you know, because somebody who is like a quite of some kind of importance to you in your life, in your mind, you know, is about to really inspire you so much. You really most certainly have to understand that it's going to be somebody who means to you a lot and somebody who you really respect in so many different ways, but also at the same time, you know, you appreciate something about that person so much. And it's not only about the actual appreciation, but there are also like quite lots of elements around it of you maybe wanting to become like that, but in a good way, in a positive way, in an optimistic way, you know, because it's all about these very special people in our lives that are playing a very much so integral part when it comes to our spirituality and our journeys. So when they inspire us, you know, we feel something, you know, and it's different and it's very special and it's very important and it's very meaningful. So this is my gorgeous Gemini, what you most certainly have to pay attention to, that inspiration, because it's like, oh my God, on one hand, you know, you're going to understand some kind of problem, something that's been bothering you so much, and that in itself, it's also going to become kind of significant when it comes to you stepping forward with your life, because it's all about that knowledge, it's all about feeling things again, you know, but also at the same time, it's about being inspired by the right person in our lives. You know, you have to understand that at the same time, it's not only about the inspiration, but you're going to find an element of you kind of realizing that something very specific about that person also is the fact that you are sharing a very kind of interesting opinion about some kind of a subject or some kind of a matter that means to you so much. And that in itself, it's also going to light up the path in so many different ways, because it is just all about the confirmation, you know, that somebody is like thinking in a similar way like you, but about something very, very specific indeed. This person is going to play an integral role when it comes to you making a step in your life, a very important step forward. Normally you wouldn't do this, but now it is just all this bravery and self-esteem that you're going to gain through this. This in itself, it's going to get you right on, you know, it's going to get that ball rolling, you know, it's going to get you going. And it's going to reflect on you making the right step when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your financial future in general, when it comes to your home, when it comes to your happiness, when it comes to an enlightenment moment in time, that it's going to come through this as well. Because after this moment in time, every single step of the way that you're going towards this path, you know, when you find yourself walking on it, you know, it's all about the inspiration and optimism and this wonderful vibration that is going to start rising at the same time. And this is what you need, because that vibration, it's also something that has been missing for a while. And the more you shower yourself in this vibration of, and by following, you know, things that are inspiring you, and by kind of focusing on the blockage, you know, what was causing the blockage in your life, you're going to be able to establish that horrible dark blockage, you know, that was called and caused, you know, and it's not that you didn't understand this before, but there are going to be so many other elements around it that are going to confirm to you that you're doing the right thing, you know, by doing what you are doing. You know, you need to pretty much so have trust in yourself. You need to pretty much so get that confidence going, because this is going to reflect on not just like the next step, but your, you know, your immediate environment. It's going to bring something very successful, and it's going to bring like quite healing energy as well, which means that you have been worrying so much much, you know, and every single time when you were by yourself, you were on your own, something was just bothering you, like something was really like kind of like trying to get your attention within yourself. You know, at the end of the day, you're my gorgeous Gemini, so there are two of you in, so you've got a double whammy in it. You've got a double power, my gorgeous Gemini, indeed. But sometimes that can like a little bit tear you apart, especially when you're trying to like kind of do something so significant, but then the other side of you is like, no, are you crazy? No, don't do this. No, baby, no. No, baby, no. Because by the time you get to the mid part of this week, you will know that this is entirely, your whole life is entirely up to you. Everything that you do, it's entirely up to you. And you're going to feel so strongly, you know, at around the midweek, my gorgeous Gemini. So this is the time when you're actually going to feel pretty much so very powerful and swift activity when it comes to the sudden progress in your life. But at the same time, it's, you know, it's to do with a certain movement. And that movement that you're going to feel, that movement that you're going to become aware of, like when it comes to the rather stale part of your life that was affecting you, that movement in itself, it's going to pretty much so be connected to the decision, very important decision that you're actually going to make, you know, and that decision, it's very personal to you, and it's to do with your own advancement. At a roughly similar time, there is going to be quite interesting message that you're going to have, that it's also like, my Lord, going to confirm things for you even more, how important it is to do things, you know, pretty much so that make sense to you. Don't do things that don't make sense, you know, whatsoever. And you will know what am I talking about, because that in itself is going to lead towards you making an important adjustment. Something will need to go, readjustment. On one hand, your way of thinking, you have to open yourself up and just go towards the light, baby. Ignore the darkness, enough of darkness, go towards the light. By the same time, it's going to pretty much so it's going to open up a pathway for you where you will realize, you know, that there is something that you needs to go. It's to do with an adjustment. It's to do with a part of your life that you shouldn't really think in a certain way. Just think, be as positive as you possibly can. But also it's about a sacrifice. You know, something is slowly coming to an end, and that particular thing is to do with your way of thinking. That, my gorgeous Gemini, is something that you need to move yourself away from, because it was damaging your energy. It was damaging your healing process in general. So pretty much so you are gonna possess this ability to look at your life from like a little bit different angle. You will not be able to recognize the energy that you're going to find yourself in at around the midweek 2022, at around the midweek in between the 14th and the 20th of February, of course. You know, but it's just the energy is going to be undeniable. You're not going to be able to explain it, but it's going to be keep on inspiring you. And every single time when you give a credit to yourself and credit to your weirdness and credit to things that come to you, every single time there is going to be like a little reward that you are going to have as well. And this is why you're going to possess this ability to look at the situation from a completely different angle. And that in itself is like, oh my God, without you realizing, you are about to plant a very important seed. You're about to start something so significant, something that is pretty much so going to change your life. But these are only the beginning stages. This is absolutely brilliant, and I'm very happy for you, because it's also at the same time, you know, there was a pretty much a very strong obstacle that was manifested in your life, but it was pretty much so you're not moving as quick as you wanted with your life. So now it's about you breaking through, breaking forward, just moving forward, my gorgeous Geminis. It's very important. No matter how rain is out there, no matter what a big storm is out there, it doesn't really matter. You are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. You're way more powerful than any storm, than any rain or anything like that. So this is entirely down to you when you're going to become aware of it. You are already aware of it, but you will see the complex situation that I'm actually talking about. The last part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, is pretty much so, you know, I like it because it's all about the balance. You know, it's very important to pay attention to the balance. It's very important to kind of pay attention to organization in your life, and it's also very important to establish, you know, where your energy is getting drained. By establishing where your energy is getting drained at the end of the week, you will see that that is almost immediately going to increase your power as well, because where your energy was draining, this was like kind of affecting your decisions, and it was affecting your planning in general. So by the time you get to the actually last part of this week. It's all about having this perfect balance, which is on another hand going to make you realize, you know, about a very, very important moment in time. And what is a very important moment in time, my gorgeous Gemini, that is going to happen at the end of this week? The very important moment in time, it's going to be like a big mama, mind-blowing conclusion. This conclusion is so big, this conclusion is so important, this conclusion is so significant, because, you know, this is about a very difficult and annoying stage of your life coming to an end, but also at the same time, you know, this conclusion is just basically going to make you feel so good about yourself. It's going to make you feel really optimistic. It's going to inspire you. It's even going to make you feel very artistic indeed. It will make you feel like you want to express yourself as much as you possibly can. Please do pay attention to what that conclusion is, my gorgeous Gemini, by the end of the week. That conclusion is just so significant, because at the same time it's going to show you the way through your own inspiration, but also through you feeling artistic. And these feelings and these energies are going to make you explore the very specific part of your life, my gorgeous Gemini. And that specific part of your life that's meant to be explored is just like going to answer so many questions to you. You're not even going to be able to explain where these feelings and vibration is coming from, but this is purely because you have been through so much, and we can just like kind of have so much negativity splattered around us, you know, for so long. You know, we are the creatures of light, you know, and this is what we do, this is what we follow. And in order to create our light more powerful, to see in the like a rather darkness at the moment out there, this is what you actually need to do. You just need to follow this exploration moment. You need to see what is really pretty much so calling you, wanting you. You will kind of not be able to ignore this feeling. What needs to be explored? Very, very important, because that exploration is going to be your direction. That exploration is going to be your enlightenment. That exploration is going to be a huge, massive, enormous new beginning without you even realizing. This is exactly what you should do. Follow it. It's very important indeed. The next sign that I'm going to be having a message is a reading for, it's going to be my gorgeous Libra. My gorgeous Libra, this reading is in between the 14th and the 20th of February 2022. And you know, oh my God, I really like this indeed. Something really weird is actually going to happen. Something bizarre, something strange, and something rather unusual. I'm strange, I'm unusual, I like that. No, basically it's the, you know, something very strange. Something, I've got my moments. 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 My gorgeous Libra, please do forgive me. So basically, you are going to find yourself in this very kind of you're going to find yourself in an element this week. You're going to find yourself in a stage this week that you didn't kind of find yourself in a long time, in many years. It's been 80 years. No, I'm joking. No, basically it's just you know what, it's actually going to feel like that. It's been 80 years, you know, that old lady in the Titanic, you know, it's so funny. Anyway, so you're gonna find yourself like on a very in a very interesting situation. You're gonna find yourself feeling very cheeky at the beginning of the week. You're gonna find yourself feeling very kind of devilish, you know, but like not devilish like, oh God, devilish, like a cheeky naughty energy, a cheeky naughty energy. You will feel like this kind of playful energy, and I really like it. And this playful energy, it's also going to be your sign. It's very significant to understand that through our own spirituality we'll feel things and we sense things in a slightly different way. This is exactly what is going to happen to you. The energy is going to be completely undeniable. So at the moment in time this week, my gorgeous Libra, when you feel this, oh yeah, playful energy, you know, it is is just going to remind you of something so specific in your life, how things used to be, what you used to do, what you used to focus on. And this is going to give you such a big mama spiritual slapita. And that spiritual slap, is exactly what you need, because at that moment in time, you're also going to awake here, my gorgeous Libra. This is important indeed. So when you feel this playful energy, this colorful energy, that is going to lead towards a certain thing as well. You will kind of going to find yourself on a pretty much so an interesting path in your life, without even realizing, without even planning, without even thinking about it. And this is where things are going to start becoming very, very interesting for you. Oh my God, this is important, because through that, you know, this is all going to be completely unplanned. And this is why I like these things, because it's all going to come to you through your own subconscious mind. You are actually going to find yourself wanting to find out more. You will want to kind of explore more. You will want to kind of do more, and you will not be able to ignore this whatsoever. It's about a new beginning. It's about a new path. It's about a new inspiration. So this is what this playful energy is going to start kind of talking to you about. This is what this playful energy is going to be kind of be leading you towards. This is what this playful energy is actually going to mean when it comes to you, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. So you just have to follow it, because that playful energy is going to open your eyes. It's going to take you places, not necessarily physically. Maybe it will take you physically, but it's going to take you places in your mind. And that is going to reflect on those things that you should be watching, on those things that you should be listening, on those things that you should be kind of feeling very much so drawn towards. So it's going to put you on the path of a new beginning. So just remember, it's all going to be leading towards you wanting and needing to explore a certain stage in your life. And once you find yourself there is no way back, in the best possible way. It's like a pretty much so your wings are going to start growing here after a long time, my gorgeous Libra. So this is why this is so important, because you will know that in itself, it's a very powerful essence when it comes to your spiritual journey, because you're going to start moving yourself rather nicely after that moment in time. And it's going to bring new energy. So it's all about you finding yourself on a new path, a new beginning rather spontaneously. And this is a very powerful spiritual keyword, because when things come to manifest spontaneously in our lives, they come from where they're meant to come, you know. They happen the way they're meant to happen, without us thinking too much or worrying too much and putting too much pressure on our own path, but not knowing what to do. And then we do know what to do, but then we just kind of like, because so much of the confusing energy around us just kind of affects us in so many different ways. So this is why this is going to be so important. So you will see something, you will be inspired. This is going to start changing so much, and it's going to get you thinking, and it's going to get you going. You know, you will kind of want to sit down and just think about it, and that in itself, it's going to require from you to learn a little bit more. Libra, it's about you learning about the specific subjects, my gorgeous Liberinas. Indeed, about the specific subjects. So you're going to need to learn a little bit more. That path that you have found yourself at, it's most certainly going to lead towards you needing to read up a little bit more or learn a little bit more. But most certainly, this is going to be, you are going to be on the right path. At around the midweek, I can't talk anymore, Libra. At around the midweek. Oh my Lord. At around the midweek, you know, you are actually going to be facing a certain obstacle, and the certain obstacle that you're going to be facing is purely because you're going to be facing the certain person within the certain situation, and that person is just not going to make sense. That person is going to be very strange and very bizarre, and I don't like this person. It's like a little snake that you're going to become aware of and that you're going to be facing, you know. And this in itself, it's important for you to understand, because through that person you're going to learn something. Not only that the certain mask is going to fall, but you will become aware of the very, very specific situation. That situation is absolutely everything, because it's going to provide you with a very, very kind of interesting little part that you didn't know that you're going to become aware of. It's going to seem like a tiny little part, but at the same time it's going to help you to know and understand, you know, quite a lot what what was happening in your life over the last 12 months, and who to trust and who not to trust, you know, what to listen to and what not to listen to, what to connect to and what not to connect to. It's important to take care of our own energy and vibration. Be around the people that are very good and inspiring, rather than being around people that are draining your energy. Indeed. So this is the part of an important learning process that you're going to have. Also, on another hand, the midweek is going to bring you pretty much so, I really like this also, like a kind of like a really kind of the energy is going to start flowing in terms of actual progress, you know, things are going to start moving on, and it's going to surprise you really, like, oh my god, you know, things are really moving on, and I like it, you know, slowly but surely. And there are also like other like informations that you're going to hear about, that it's not necessarily connected to your specific situation, but it's just going to make you feel pretty much so much better, because that is going to just kind of make this situation much better, because you will be able to connect, you know, to much larger picture from a lots of different angles, and it's all going to make sense, you know. On another hand, it's all about the actual things moving on, and you know, there is a certain decision that you're going to need to make, and this is like some kind of like a, you know, you need to move on from some kind of path that no longer serve you whatsoever, and that in itself, it's not going to seem like huge or horrible blah 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 how you would normally think that this would actually be at this moment in time. And this is purely because you evolved, you know, when it comes to this moment in time, you evolved, and you were prepared for this for a while now, so without even realizing, it's not going to seem like that negative or anything like that. But the decision that you're going to need to make is just, oh no, you know, it's just something that didn't work out, and it's something that there is no point to waste your energy anymore. Just move on from it. This is just going to give you just like a little bit of, oh no, like a maybe little bit of like a broken heart, but it's nothing too bad, or it's nothing too horrible, because this came to an end, you know, and the sooner you move on, the sooner you cut this out of your life, the sooner you're actually going to progress. And it's not only that, the sooner you realize this and give a credit to yourself, the sooner the healing energy is going to start kind of like pretty much so entering your sign. So this is important, you know. So it's to do, you know, with a specific aspect of your life that was a part of your life for quite a while now, but now, you know, you just grew into something really powerful. You learned so much over the last 24 to 36 months, and it is just basically now time to move on. But you will know what this is, most certainly, most importantly. The last part of this week, my gorgeous Libra, it's pretty much so like a basically don't worry too much. You know, the energy is going to be quite unusual. The energy is going to be like a bit of a thinking energy. And I know that you're going to be worrying about like a finances and the financial aspect of your life. It's just going to pretty much so going to make you feel really worried. But let me tell you something, don't worry about it, you know, because you can get the most of it like this. Look, what you're going to be worrying about at the end of the week, when it comes to your finances, when it comes to you feeling, oh no, my god, I need to pay attention to this, I need to kind of be careful about this, I need to be careful about that. No, baby, no. Listen, this is a very good sign that when you get this feeling, because you will be facing a certain situation, maybe you will want to get something, you will maybe want to buy something, and then you're going to be worrying, or you're just going to in general worrying about your finances. This is actually a really brilliant sign. Do you know why? Because that same problem that you're worrying about, it's actually going to be resolved by the end of this week. So this is your answer, how to know what this is. This is a very important actually sign for you. So what you're going to worry about, there's a specific aspect of your life when it comes to finances and things like that, that is going to be resolved by the end of the week. Something really important is going to happen. You will be told a certain thing by somebody very much so prominent in your life, and that is going to give you not only an idea, but it's also going to help you realize to not to worry, that things are going to be absolutely fine. There are going to be two specific paths ahead at around the end of the week, and both paths are going to be very important later on, and both paths are going to seem really tiny, but trust me, this is only the beginning. Okay, so it's all about the inspiration, and it's all about like what you need to bring into your life to move on, and it's all about you just breaking through, you know, walking towards your future without worrying too much, because with worrying you're just slowing yourself down. down. You're making the situation uncertain for yourself. So you just have to come out of it right now. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be having a tarot reading for is going to be my gorgeous Aquarius, my wonderful, gorgeous Aquamarini. You know, I think that you have been waiting for this for a long, long time. I said before, and I'm going to say it again, the last 36 months, it's not only about the last 36 months, but the last 46 months, 46 to 48 months have been very difficult for you because you have so selflessly, yeah, without being selfish, yeah, you were so kind of giving so much to others, you were so focusing on others, not only like, not necessarily when it comes to finances and things like that, but when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to you being so kind of open-minded. You know, you have no idea how many people you have actually helped, you have no idea how many people you have inspired, and you have no idea probably what a powerful figure you are in the people's lives that you are. So people who are very close to you and people who are so important to you and people who mean to you so much, you, my gorgeous Aquamarinis, have been making a huge difference in these people's lives. You have helped them in so many different ways, but also you have helped them to identify problems and issues because you're so powerful, you're so psychic, you're so spiritual. This is your gift indeed. You have got a very powerful and very unique gift. So it's not only about being an empath, but it's also being very powerful when it comes to you projecting your healing energy on other people. Why am I saying this? Do you know why? Because it's only so much that you can take. It's only so much that you can worry, and it's only so much that you can go through. And karmically, Karma Mama sees everything. Karma Mama knows everything. There is no escape from Karma Mama. And I know some people are very scary, like, you know, people who haven't got anything to do with us. Some people we are most certainly aware that can be very scary and like for a long time in their lives. And nobody's like asking like, oh, you know, like what's, I mean, not nobody's asking, but it's just like a pretty much so like what's happening to their karma. Don't worry, Karma Mama is going to catch up with absolutely everything one way or another. That's all what I can basically say. But when it comes to you, now this is pretty much so your time, and it's strictly going to start from very much so the 14th of February, and it's going to be like significant, and a lot is going to be unfolding right until the 20th of February 2022. So I just need you to kind of understand that there are lots of ideas that you're going to have. I mentioned to you before, and this is carrying into this reading, not that long ago you had a certain idea. It's very unique, it's very quirky, it's just very kind of special, and it's very unique, and it's very kind of you. That idea is something that you need to take on the next step, next stage, next level. But there is also somebody who is very wise in your life, somebody who is very wise in your life, very important in your life. It's also having got that person also has got a very kind of impactful message to give you. That message I call impactful because it's just going to pretty much so going to make a large impact on your life. This person is very wise, and this person knows things beyond this world. Oh my Lord, and more. So there is a very specific message that you are going to have through someone who is just kind of gonna really inspire you, where you need to be inspired. And especially because you had like a lots of kind of unsatisfied desires, you know, over the last 5 or 6 months. You know, you've been going through this certain struggle and things like that. So that also affected you, your way of thinking, your way of planning. But it's also important to remember to stay on top of things and ignore the negativity and the darkness and the sadness as much as you possibly can. There is so much around us at the moment, and you need to win this by turning your light on, baby, and just moving forward, because you're going to find yourself in a very specific situation right at the beginning of the week. It's all about being on this spiritual quest, and you will just want more out of life, and suddenly you will become bored with this, you will become bored with that, but at the same time you're going to be very happy with yourself, and you're going to be very happy with your progress. And this is where things are going to become very interesting, because it's all about this balance, you know, and at the same time seeing what came to an an end, but also at the same time understanding that you have to and you must give a credit to yourself as well, because this is all going to boil down towards you having a strength and power over the situation and over your life from a much higher angle. So you're going to find yourself being very specifically bored with a certain part of your life, and you will want to move on, and this is absolutely brilliant. So this is all about you finding yourself with finding yourself on a spiritual quest, and most certainly wanting more out of life. That is my gorgeous Aquamarini about to start a rebirth. You know, there is a lot that is actually going to start slowly coming to an end. But this end is a big mama in so many different ways, because where there is ending, there is also a new beginning. So this in itself is pretty much so leading towards a very, very powerful rebirth. You are going to have a very powerful rebirth, my gorgeous Aquamarini. And that in itself is just going to pretty much so going to make you question things. It's going to make you wonder about things. You're going to find yourself like thinking a lot and wondering how come that you feel inspired by certain things. Well, this is all the process of your own enlightenment. This is all the process of your own rebirth. So by the time you get to the actual mid part of this week, it's all about these ideas. There are more ideas that are going to come to you. There are more realizations that are going to come to you. This is all about your own transformation. You have been waiting for this transformation for a long time, but let me tell you, you know, it's not all like a pink, purple and blue. You know, it's like pretty much so it is going to kind of make you aware of lots of things around you, but it's also going to make you question right things. It's going to make you question things that you don't kind of want to take on anymore, that absolutely don't make sense, you know. And it's also because every single time you question things, and every time you find out a bit more, and every time you kind of like project yourself in a very powerful way, and you remove yourself from people who don't mean anything to you, but also from people who are just draining your energy for absolutely nothing, you know. So this is important that at around the midweek, it's all about you kind of realizing that, you know, it's not a great time for like some kind of investment. Not this week. This is a thinking week. This is the week for moving on. This is the week for like a kind of planning. This is the week to kind of explore feelings and kind of like things like that you have. But I just would not invest this week. After that moment in time, it's like after the 20th, that's fine, but this week it's not a good week for investment. But more so, you're gonna find yourself like having like a really kind of lots of energy when it comes to kind of moving things around, and also that same energy that is going to start at the beginning of the week, it's also going to be primarily responsible for you kind of suddenly feeling bored about your immediate environment, you know. And I said this so many times, this is the universal energy. And you have to kind of see things through the way they are, but the way you're going to do this is like just by, you know, if you feel like something is just like kind of like a really wrong around you, or you want to move something about around you, then just go for it. It's the universal energy, because you become more magnetic, you re-energize yourself, and that kind of like really inspires you and boosts your energy without even realizing. And that same energy, it's also going to be directly responsible for the ideas that are going to come to you, and these ideas are going to be very powerful, and these ideas are going to be pretty much so connected to your future. And where you would normally be like, oh, I'm not too sure, the situation is really strange. No, baby, no. You just go, you just go, you just go, you just flow, you just do things. Okay, you do what you want to do. You go on the path you want to be on, you know. So there is some kind of very powerful sign that you are going to have at the same time, and realization, what exactly inspiration, what exactly do you want to do with your future. Before, things didn't make sense. Now there are going to be quite a few things that are still not going to make sense when it comes to the actual future in general, but it's going to be impossible to ignore your internal feelings, and you will see exactly what I mean. So by the time you get to the actual last part of this week, there is a very kind of unusual, bizarre and strange situation going to take place. Something is, oh my God, going to surprise you. Something is going to happen out of the blue at the end of this week, and it's going to be mind-blowing. You're going to be like, oh my God, but you know, this is brilliant. At the same time, you're going to be like, this is weird, but it's going to be the same weirdness and the same excitedness at the same time. there is something very interesting that you're going to find in the middle. And what you're going to find in the middle, it's like purely like knowledge, realization, very wise, very wise, very, very wise. You know, opportunity is going to come up for you. And I say very wise because it's going to come from somewhere different. It's going to come from a very powerful moment in time, very powerful vibration, very powerful dimension, which is also make you respond to some kind of situation in a different way, where normally you would be like, oh my God, scared, but now you're going to be excited because you will know what's ahead. And what's going to be ahead, it's pretty much so what you have been waiting for a long time, but also it's to do with your life path, it's to do with your life mission, it's to do with you using the quirkiest and the uniquest energy that you have and making the most of it, you know. This is fantastic. And then on another hand, another person is going to be playing an important role at around the end of the week as well. Somebody who is in your life, somebody who's very wise, somebody who's like having a very kind of older and powerful energy. That person will tell you something, the missing information you're going to get through this person, and this is when things are going to become even more interesting indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous people. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.